It is now very clear that the Minister of Health, Dr. BARYOMUNSI, was used by the state to snitch on Dr. Kizza Besigye so that he can be taken back to prison in a frail state. In a tweet that was put out by Dr. BARYOMUNSI, he came out to say, "I paid a visit to Dr. Kizza Besigye today morning at Mulago Hospital, where he is hospitalized. He is steadily recuperating and I wish him quick recovery. I thank the team of medical workers that are attending to him." No sooner had BARYOMUNSI put out that tweet than Kizza Besigye was rushed back to prison despite being in a frail state. And for me, I keep on telling people that an old case judges a new case. How can you tell me that after Dr. BARYOMUNSI visited Dr. Kizza Besigye, after a few hours, Dr. Kizza Besigye was taken from Mulago to Luzira prison? Remember, Luzira prison has an hospital, but we all know Mulago, at least compared to Luzira prison hospital, is the best. This came to be known by Winnie Byanyima. He came out to say, today, after Minister BARYOMUNSI visited, everything changed. An order came to remove Kizza Besigye from Mulago and returned him to Luzira, against the recommendation we had heard from the prison's official, and while he remains unable to care for himself. Who gave this order, and why was medical judgment overridden? Taking a helpless patient from where he can receive rehabilitation and family assistance and returning him to prison that cannot support his condition is cruel. Dr. Kizza Besigye has a right to health, dignity and proper medical care. His life and health must not be put at risk. We are heartbroken. So you clearly see that Winnie Byanyima is coming out to complain that after BARYOMUNSI had visited, Dr. Kizza Besigye was taken back to Luzira prison. I keep on telling people that in politics, nothing is done by mistake. Everything is planned. Remember, BARYOMUNSI and Besigye are not friends. It is the truth. But here is my point. There is a way General Kaguta Museveni uses kings to fight political battles. When you see people fighting Kyagulanyi, at most are people from Buganda. Like at most, the top cream. When you see people fighting Dr. Kizza Besigye, at most are people from his backyard. The BARYOMUNSI is from Kigezi sub-region. Amama Mbabazi was fought by Tumukunde before Tumukunde became an in-law for General Kaguta Museveni. Remember when they were fighting Rebecca Kadaga, Namugaza was on the far front. So he uses kings. For BARYOMUNSI, who's not a friend to Dr. Kizza Besigye, how can you visit him in the hospital without the consent? And the wife is coming out to say that BARYOMUNSI forced himself from Dr. Kizza Besigye. In another tweet, "I'm shocked and deeply distressed. After 7 p.m. tonight, my partner Kizza Besigye was bundled up and taken back to Luzira prison. When I left KB at 4 p.m., he still could not walk or talk. At lunch, I fed him soft food with a spoon because his arms and hands remain very weak. He cannot yet care for himself." That means that Dr. Kizza Besigye is in a frail state and is being taken back to Luzira prison after being snitched on by BARYOMUNSI. So the purpose of this video, I've come to talk about how Dr. Kizza Besigye was taken back to Luzira prison after being snitched on by BARYOMUNSI, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the certain materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawage. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. The reason I'm saying that BARYOMUNSI snitched on Dr. Kizza Besigye is when Dr. Kizza Besigye first fell sick in prison, it's BARYOMUNSI who came out on Parliament and public fora to allege that Dr. Kizza Besigye was sick and responding to treatment, the first treatment, and even went on to say that he was suffering from diarrhea. In fact, he said this statement.
There has also been this issue of Dr. Besigye, where allegations were made that he is seriously sick and the government has not attended to his sickness. That's not true. A few days back, Dr. BESIGYE just got some minor diarrheal illness, and he was attended to by his personal doctors and is now well, and is living his usual life within Luzira prison.
That is Chris BARYOMUNSI. According to doctor's practice, a doctor is not allowed to give out any condition of a patient without the patient's consent. And Chris BARYOMUNSI did this because of politics. He stooped too low to an extent of giving out the sickness of Dr. Kizza Besigye to the public without BESIGYE's consent. And because of politics, he would have even not given the right condition. So basing on history, because they had a back and forth with Winnie Byanyima, telling him off that how can you disclose the patient's condition without him knowing. So after all that saga, how can you tell me that Dr. Chris BARYOMUNSI feels for Dr. Kizza Besigye when he recently sneaked on him? How can you tell me that after you visit Dr. Kizza Besigye in hospital, he's taken back to Luzira prison? Chris BARYOMUNSI, remember, Dr. Kizza Besigye is your peer, is your neighbor in Rukunjiri. You come from the same region. You will be among the first people who would, at least even if you're in a regime, to make sure that your kin is okay. It is the truth. But stepping too low, previously you put out Dr. Kizza Besigye's statement about his condition. Now you're sneaking on him, and a few hours later he's being taken to Luzira prison. Dr. Chris BARYOMUNSI, the thunder that will strike you won't be having any mercy. It is the truth. A brother is another brother's keeper. You're not keeping your brother from Kigezi, and you're stepping too low. At least you wouldn't have gone there in the hospital. It is the truth. Forcing yourself in Dr. Kizza Besigye's room, it shows something. One of the things that the regime has lost is humanity. I don't know how wise people, because Chris BARYOMUNSI, trust me, you cannot put Chris BARYOMUNSI in the stupid people. But I don't know how the regime uses smart people like Chris BARYOMUNSI to stoop low and look stupid to the public. You made a mistake previously to expose Dr. Kizza Besigye's health condition contrary to what the penal code says and contrary to what the doctor's conduct says. Now you are forcing yourself on a patient who uninvited and later is being and is taken to the hospital. What a shame. So for me, I will continue praying for Dr. Kizza Besigye. I'll continue interceding for him so that he can be okay. Because such a freedom fighter cannot be taken for granted. In fact, Winnie Byanyima continued to stay. Yesterday, a senior prison official joined our family meeting with Blago doctors and Kizza Besigye's personal doctor. The doctor explained the rehabilitation program prescribed for him. The prison official acknowledged that Luzira could not support KB in recent present condition and recommended that he remains at Mulago while he rehabilitated and recovered. We believe medical judgment would prevail. We were wrong. So doctors had come out to say that Mulago would manage Dr. Kizza Besigye well better than Luzira prison. But he is being taken to Luzira prison, which has less capacity on Kizza Besigye's condition. It takes me back that there's a CDF who came out to say that it's going to hang Dr. Kizza Besigye or is going to kill him. And I think the process has been initiated. But it will be so bad when Dr. Kizza Besigye, God forbid, has died in prison and Chris BARYOMUNSI will be among the mourners giving speeches. It will be bad when the great people from Kigezi who kept quiet will come on a funeral to give for our speech on Dr. Kizza Besigye. Of course, the champion remains truly Mr. Makinde Kabe Suleiman Magal. If you're into this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that you can motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you another one. Peace.